2020 has been the worst year in the history of ever. If you look at any time other than 2020, you will see that they've had better luck, less passings, less tragic events than any time, or than 2020. I mean, I'm such a stupid mic cord. 2020 is the worst year in the last century. Here we go. I asked 10 historians to nominate the worst year in 2020, or worst year in history, and here is 13. You know what? I don't care. I don't care if I'm using an ad block. They're getting mad at me because I'm using an ad block. I don't want to pay $1 for stuff, so... Oh, bamboo needs water. Sorry I've been so dry with videos lately. I have 0 ideas. Ha, got him. 1348. Why was 1348? There's nothing but people fighting for power, useless leaders with bad ideas. Disease spread quickly. 1492. And that when Christopher Columbus did the thing, he sailed the ocean blue in 1492 because I'm an MC, dog. 1836. What happened in 1836? I'm way too lazy to read all these. 2020 is not in here. I'm an idiot. But I've seen videos. The worst year in history. Okay, hold on. I have a... Good old headphones on for this one. God, my hair's a mess. I give up. I don't care about hair anymore. 2020, the worst year in history. Why is that, Sonny? 15 minutes.
2020 is the beginning of an entirely new decade.
Is this the Tekkit Realm? I'm subscribed to him.
2020 is the beginning of an entirely new decade, a whole new age of humanity. As a matter of fact, so many things have been estimated to happen in 2020 which will change the entire direction of where we go as a civilization, point that we've ever been, to an almost complete breakout, to nuclear war between different countries. World War III happened and turned into fruition. The rising tensions because of this also making things more difficult to come into the future as well. So you may be thinking to yourself,
talk about
I think 2020 right now, YouTube, one of the biggest websites on this internet. But I can assure you that because of this system of false hope that we've all kind of gotten ourselves into, there's going to be lots of surprises up in store for us. January 2020, World War III almost started as a nuclear airstrike was initiated over the country of Iran.
Oh yeah.
This was the closest point on the nuclear arsenal clock, the doomsday clock, which indicates how close humanity is, relatively speaking, to going completely extinct or experiencing some kind of extinction event. Almost
I've seen videos in
before midnight as this happened. This has risen the tension between the world's most powerful super nation known as the United States and the Middle East, higher than ever before. The breakout of the 2019 nCoV virus, the coronavirus, which is a strain of the common cold flu virus which has never been seen before. There is absolutely no adaptivity to humans within the immune system that we currently have, and there is absolutely no natural remedies or any kind of treatment that could help cure it. It is 100% immune to every single kind of thing we throw at it. Numbers of this virus has been argued across many countries and across
what are you
many
gonna do
aspects
though?
of the internet, but it is commonly assured that the virus numbers have been greatly throttled by the actual countries of where it exists in. It is mathematically estimated that despite the relatively low numbers of infected patients of this virus, that there are currently over 4 to 10 million total people in the world that are infected with this. So why is this such?
Just think though that there is like wait, how much people are in the world? 7.8 billion. God damn it! There's 7.8 billion people on this planet, and there's 8 to 10 million that are infected. You know, that's like relatively, that's not that bad at all. But what are we gonna do about it, huh? Don't tell me that. Huh? What are we gonna do about it? Huh? I don't even think society knows what we're gonna do at this point.
A big deal? Well, in case you weren't paying attention in your 9th grade algebra class, there's something called an exponential function, something of
Oh,
which
yeah.
goes up exponentially, and which is also known as a straight line in the logarithmic function. This means that more and more people will get infected as the virus gets more and more infectious.
You see, that's where I was totally gonna go. I wasn't saying that the Ticket Realm was wrong here by any means at all. Let's skip the virus.
People. The estimated death tolls of this are obviously highly arguable, but it is estimated that the actual death rate of this virus could be anywhere between 2 and upwards of 10%. But it will get even worse if the current scenario keeps playing on, of which I have mapped out for the
God, I
future
broke
of this
these, I
year.
think.
I have no intentions of spreading ill will or negativity across the internet, of course, but I think it's highly encapsulating around $26.5 trillion in valuation is estimated to go through a 70% or more retracement, more or less being triggered by the actual economic collapse which will be initiated by the nCoV-19 virus. Even if the lack of trade
Is
and
this
the
how this
economic
is? It's about the
downfall
virus?
situation unfolds. In the most drastic of circumstances and the worst case scenarios, lots of these platforms will unfortunately have to go out of business and in bankruptcy as 2020 unfolds. And lots of these fun companies that offered you these awesome products that you thought would never have any chance of losing money or losing the ability to stay around will actually go extinct before your very eyes. Starting with the smallest of companies which can barely even afford the payments to sustain their actual rent, all the way up to the biggest companies that produce billions of dollars per year.
Oh,
such
no.
as that of YouTube. YouTube itself, despite it having the most profitable year in history in 2019.
Okay, I'm back. You know, I think the Ticket Realm is right in a sense with the stupid coronavirus and the investments that it'll take to stop the coronavirus and how that will make 2020 the worst year in history. But I kind of stumbled upon already what I was going to get into after I viewed why it was the worst in history. Look at what goes on here. I'm going to read into some of these and how these were particularly bad years in history. People talk about the 2016 being a particularly disastrous year, but for a historian, there's nothing new about people fighting for power or useless leaders with oh, this is about the Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, yeah. Disease spread quickly among the Silk Roads and then across trade routes crisscrossing the Mediterranean of the 18 months, killing at least a third of the population of Europe. Our hopes for the future have been buried alongside our friends, wrote the great Petrarch. It seemed like the end of the world was coming. Oh no, the end of the world, it's coming, it's inevitable. I think the hell on earth really looks like I'd rather be alive in 2016 than 1348. What was 1348? Oh, the Black Death, that's what it was. And then 1492, and Columbus was like, you stupid bastards, this is my land. And then the Indians were like, oh no, please, help me, please. Help me, please, I'm dying. You know, I don't have the right mood for this video. That don't look that great, but whatever, it's red. 1890s, or 1836, war on to, oh, world, yeah, the civil, is this the Civil War? Isn't this the Civil War? I thought the Civil War was the Civil War. No, that's not the Civil War. What? War in 1830s. Texas Revolution, Texas War of Independence, Fort Phillip District Wars, British Empire. I'm so confused. I don't understand a word about this. Yeah, we're just gonna skip right past that because our big math brains are too dumb for history. 1837. My nod for the worst year ever goes to 1837. Andrew Jackson left office, even though Martin Van Buren had been elected to replace him without much difficulty. plunged into what was the worst economic depression it had ever seen, except in the 1920s when they were like, stock market. Almost no one got out of 1837 unscathed, but no one's alive to tell the tale. I have to do something about that shadow. That is terrible. I wish it would just stay there. That's like almost perfect. I don't like the shadow in your videos. Do you like that? No, I don't like that. That looks terrible. Yeah. What do you think? 1876, the true stinker that will resonate for decades in bad regulations and head trauma. No one's alive to have head trauma from that. It's almost 200 years ago. Battle of Little Bighorn. Well, I knew that. 1877, which would be personal misfortunes the world got into the pool. The worst year in July was better than in a state of terrorist attacks, all over killing. Racial reconstruction. Radical reconstruction. Oh, yeah. Got us to pay attention in history. 1919, which is World War One. It's not World War One. This is like the aftermath of World War One, when everyone was like, "Oh yeah, we're coming back to America. See, look over here. It's America. We was in France and Germany, but now we come to America." I had lost my American accent because we spent too much time in the over the ocean. We hear all these Germans go like this. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. This is America. Everything is mind-blowing for all these American soldiers who had just gotten their guns out and was going gun blazing like pow, pow, or if they have a bolt action, it's like pow, 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 and then yeah, everything goes like that. But then after everything, the 18th Amendment, as it says, introduced prohibition, which is the banning of alcohol and drinking and bars and everything. Is so stupidly dumb. I want to be drunk. I'm just kidding. I'm 14 years old. I shouldn't say that. But demonetization is bye-bye, so I have the right to say everything on YouTube. I'm spitting everywhere. 18th Amendment introduced prohibition. Bloody Summer riots because they wanted to get all their little liquor and all their alcohol and everything that they want in their bodies because they're all alcoholics, kind of like my friend's dad. Just kidding. Oh yeah, the race riots in Rockefeller, that was after the Rockefeller oil things. 1943, World War II. This is when I know when Auschwitz was built. Auschwitz was built in 43 or 41. I mean, God, I need to have my reading glasses on. Okay, so in 1943, that's used bad things to heaven, but also history that's depressing in amount of humans, how cruelty, and atrocities, and not regular committing. Have a good go down there in the best band. Can't see. 1968. Isn't that what? That's the race stuff. That's Jim Crow, isn't it? That was in the 60s. Jim Crow? When was Jim Crow laws introduced? What? That was 1880s? I thought the Jim Crow laws were like the ones that actually stopped everything and that stopped whatever. Or was that? No. That was the there was a movie. The movie was on it. Hidden Figures. You can look in here. The 3 brilliant African American at NASA, Katherine Johnson, Dorothy Vaughan, and Mary Jackson serve as the brains behind the greatest operation of all. Yeah, but it stops races. It stops racial discrimination and everything. And I didn't have history class today, okay? We got let out early because of the stupid snow that I would show you, but my camera's propped up and I don't want to move it because it was too hard to get the perfect stuff. And then it ends there. So apparently 2020 isn't the worst year, but it's the worst year that I've been alive because of the fact the coronavirus. Yeah, the coronavirus, that's a thing. And oh, what was the thing? There's a thing on here. Oh yeah. Internal temp too high. What does that mean? Well, you're not going to see my beautiful face anymore. Long story short, I think 2020 has been the worst year of the 2000s because of the stupid election coming up again, and stuff.